This week on The Choice.
We're going to head to Montana with Deep in the Bush Adventures.
Big
with
Sky
Jeff Jerome.
Country, yep.
You know, we love Jeff and we love Montana.
Oh, yeah.
We're set up on Yellowstone River bottoms. They're coming from the fields, going to their bedding. We're just going to sit here and hold tight. The chest match continues.
Oh, Vic.
Yep, look at him.
What do you say? What a hunt.
That was unbelievable. This is a beautiful bear.
Welcome to this week's The Choice, and this week is a little bit different.
Yeah, this week, you know, we're going to head to Montana with Deep in the Bush Adventures.
Big
with
Sky
Jeff Jerome.
Country, yep.
You know, and we love Jeff and we love Montana.
Oh, yeah.
Except for those deer out there, for some reason, just like to kick our butts.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to show you, really, it's been 2 falls.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
We're
And
chasing
it's
some good deer. We're
being
just having,
real.
Yeah, you know what? We just got a lot of things to share with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get after it, the Big Sky Country with Jeff Jerome.
Well, it's our first morning sitting out here in Montana with Deep in the Bush Adventures. We just had a doe and 2 little ones walk by. We're set up on Yellowstone River bottoms. They're coming from the fields, going to their bedding. We're just gonna sit here and hold tight. Jeff seems to think that it could go. They could still be moving till 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning. We'll see what happens. It's been really windy. We got a winter storm watch coming in tonight and tomorrow, so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
You know, one of the things you've got to understand, we don't have large stands of timber.
Right.
So it makes it easier once you locate your movements from your feeding to your bedding areas.
Right.
And most of those bedding areas are going to be small, tight areas on the river.
Little pockets of timber along
Because there's
the
not
river
a lot
down
of
there.
timber.
Right, right.
You know, using satellite images and stuff, and your guide and your outfitter knowing exactly the lay of the land, I mean, allows you to get in to where you need to be. And the biggest thing, like Vicky's saying, is the wind.
We had some really crazy weather, though. We had really high winds.
Man, it would never stop blowing.
I mean, to the point where when we're sitting in the blinds, we're thinking we need to attach it even more to
Yep.
the ground because they were going to blow away. Freddie and I are sitting in the ground blind, and we see a nice deer, and then another deer comes in, but they just kept milling around. It was so windy, they didn't want to come out into the open where I would have a shot. They stayed
And the grass
in the
was
thicket,
so tall
and the
in
grass
some
was so
spots.
tall that it was really cool to watch the scenario
Mm-hmm.
pull out in front of us. But in reality, even if they had stepped out where they were with the way the wind was blowing, I couldn't have ethically felt comfortable taking that shot
Yep.
with that wind.
Well, it is a little after 10, and the wind is picking up, and any deer that we've seen lately have been running just straight from the north to the south. The wind is howling. They're not standing by. We had some close encounters this morning. We had a pretty cool young 8 come through. We'll see what Ralphie saw, and we'll move on from here. We know there's a big winter storm coming. Chance of 2 to 4 inches of snow tonight and into tomorrow, so we'll see what it holds up. We may be hunting another ground blind. I don't know about tomorrow morning. They're saying 30-mile-an-hour winds with snow turning to rain, so I don't know what tomorrow morning has in store, but maybe tonight we can get it done. Well, Jeff got us in a bedding area this morning, and it's beautiful. Our wind is really swirling, though. Josh spotted 4 does right up here about 30 to 40 yards away, coming left to right. They got a little bit of our wind, but they didn't take off. We don't have a clue where these deer are going to come from, but they're going to come.
This segment was brought to you by Bass Pro Cabela's. The Choice is brought to you by Alps. Exceed your expectations. Bass Pro Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Beeman, made in USA. Bog Pod, engineered for the unknown. Boss Buck Feeders. Now you're getting serious. Breadcrumb, trackable technology. Browning, the best there is. Cyclops Lights. Get out of the dark. Gammo Precision Air Guns. Hoyt, get serious. Get Hoyt.
You know, one of the cool things with Jeff is, you know, you can hunt either or.
It's an any deer tag.
It's an any deer tag. And he's got, I mean, this guy's
Mule
got
deer or whitetail.
tons of acreage to hunt,
Right.
all private. So, you know, there were times we were jumping back and forth thinking, well, maybe we could get on some,
Yeah,
you know,
depending
nice
on the
muley buck.
weather and the wind
And the
the
winds.
directions of the
Yep.
winds made a big difference on how we were going to hunt.
So what's cool is you're a lot, you have the capabilities of doing either or,
Right.
you know, in that time period. So it was fun. You know, we'd located where the deer, because they were way out, and one of the crazy things, we had to actually drive in past the deer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so we drove in past the deer, all the ag fields, got in, and we got the blind, I mean, rushed into that olive tree. It was beautiful. And sure enough, here comes a deer. They're coming out of the bedding area. We were playing that wind perfect. The does start piling out. We had nice deer left to right. Everything's going good. We've been hunting all around the perimeters of this river. And again, this morning, Jeff sat high glassing, and he watched a ton of deer come through here. It's 80 plus degrees in October. We're dealing with the full moon, and all we're doing is playing a chess game, and we're gonna figure this out. And to have Jeff, who knows the land, he knows his bedding areas, he knows everything, working together in unison, you can make stuff happen. Now, I'm not saying, you know, who knows, they could be on the far trail, but the reality of it is being adaptable and moving in and not being afraid to do that is huge in your favor. Jeff Jerome, Deep in the Bush Adventures, Montana. We found a new little honey hole. We pinpointed it. We had a bunch of mature bucks, does, and everything all around us. We got a beautiful, beautiful Big 10. Couple really good 8s, possibly one was a 9. They stayed out about 65 yards. But we're going to have a great wind, and we are going to be in here early in the morning. And if the wind's right, early in the afternoon tomorrow, if the morning doesn't pan out.
Well, it's another chilly morning. It's about 32 degrees outside. We had a light frost when we came in this morning. We're set up in a spot where we sat 2 mornings ago on a really cold morning. We had the blind. Jeff moved the blind for us. Where it was, we were just too low with some of this, some of the grass that's growing up. We're still in the same position, and if we get a decent deer coming through here, I mean, all of the shots are within 40 yards, which is amazing. And we're just gonna sit tight and see what happens. It's supposed to get almost 70 today. The winds are supposed to pick up, and tomorrow the winds are supposed to be horrendous again. So let's hope for the best.
we're sitting in the ground blind, Freddie and I, and we see this beautiful, he had like a chocolate rack, this buck. He was beautiful. As you know, when we're hunting in the ground blind and you're trying to film it, it puts a little extra stress on what you're doing. Only because what I can see for a clear shot, drawing back, getting ready to shoot, the cameraman, Freddie, thanks Freddie, can't, because all of a sudden there's a beam, you know, part of the blind in the way or something, and you can only move so much, and you don't want to move when the animal's around, and you know what, sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, it's about 7:45, and we've seen some deer start moving. It's a good day. We saw a big chocolate 8, tight, beautiful buck. He come in right behind 2 other younger bucks. I drew back on him, and when I got a good angle on him, unfortunately he went behind that cedar tree there.
This segment was brought to you by Browning.
Hey, if you like what you just saw,
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
check out our website, www.archerschoice.com.
This segment is brought to you by Realtree.
So Jeff goes, hey, you got your all-season deer tags, why don't you come back out? It didn't take me long. Sighted in the Browning BAR. Got my Instinct Cabela scope on that baby. We are ready to rock and roll. This bedding area stretches a long way along the river. So we decided to just really start trying to move in on them slowly, not pressuring them heavy. Well, we did it. We finally did pinpoint the majority of these deer were coming out of this point from here to that big cottonwood right in the corner. Our problem was during archery, the winds picked up. I mean, we had 50, 60 mile an hour gusts. We were on them, but there was no way of at least, trying to get what we needed, to get as close as we needed. So one of the other advantages, because it's an all-season tag, Chad and we headed back out.
Right.
Because I had that.
That buck in your head.
I had that, yeah. And I still had the hoof prints on my butt from him earlier. The chest match continues. We saw him, and I mean everything was going good, but we probably should have had our setup further down, and a little more to the east, because we were skirting that wind, and that wind, even though we had just we thought it was a southwest wind, and it just came a little more south. It blew right down that big opening. He caught it, the does caught it, and they were gone. And then I don't know. I cried.
You cried.
I still have the bruises. They might have become tattoos by now because they haven't gone away. But that's all right, The reason we're trying to share with you all of this stuff is because we had the encounters. I mean, we could have shot deer. We sort of set our sights a little differently because we saw the deer that we really wanted to get after. But the reality of it is, this is hunting. We were playing the chess game like you would do at home. If you adhere to knowing what you know back home, food, cover, and water, I'm telling you, you could have the adventure of a lifetime. And because you're hunting these river bottoms, that's where the majority of the cover is. Most time, you can count on that being their bedding area. So we were hunting right in between, and it's just that the big guys we were looking for, they didn't follow through. We did see a good one way further back.
This segment was brought to you by Hunter Specialties. The Choice is brought to you by Hunter Specialties, serious hunting tools. Muddy, serious gear for serious hunters. NAP, hunt with confidence. Plano, protect your passion. Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors. Spy Point, connected to your passion. True Glow, when brightness counts. And by the Wild Sheep Foundation.
Jeff just dropped us off. What's going to happen is the deer are going to be coming from the north there, and he said there's really not much green that way, and there's this beautiful green alfalfa field here. He said sometimes they'll stage right here before they go down into this dry creek bottom and up into the alfalfa field. So we're going to get set up. I'm going to get in, open the windows up, squish down some of this grass, and get set.
White buck just jumped the fence into this green field. Hopefully there's gonna be more coming. Yeah, he's a little bit young. He's pretty, but where all those deer just went is the green field, and we gotta walk past that field to get out of here, and we'd rather bust them with a truck than with our scent, so we're just gonna hold tight. But it was a really good night, and hopefully we have the right winds for tomorrow night to be here again. I don't think we can get here and there in the morning without messing up the deer, so we'll have to probably sit somewhere else.
Now, y'all just watched the show, and you're probably going, they didn't kill nothing. The reality of it is that's hunting.
It is hunting. And you know what? We've gone out there a couple
We
times.
saw lots of deer.
And we're going back again because, you know what? It's just a matter of closing that distance. We had our bows out there.
No.
And you know, we're trying to get closer, and weather changes. Heck, that first year we had so much wind, it was insane.
Well, you know what? And you get into it, you see a deer that you possibly really want to set your sights for, and then you really don't want to deviate. Now,
Right.
Did we learn a lesson? Yeah, we did.
But the tags don't taste good with salt and
No,
pepper?
tags never tasted
Oh,
good.
okay, maybe that's
But
what it
what
was.
we wanted to do, we wanted to portray to you and show you the real deal. Show you what hunting's truly all about.
It
You
is.
don't go out every week at every different hunt and you shoot something. This is the reality of what we all do, the lifestyle of hunting. And you know what? We're going back because number one, he's got the game. It's a
Yes.
great place to hunt. good state, phenomenal state to hunt. And I mean,
And Jeff himself is an okay guy.
yeah, he's okay. I mean, he's gonna kill us.
He's gonna be good. And you know what, guys? We want to thank you for making your choice.
The choice.
And we'll see you next week. And maybe this year when we go to Montana, we'll actually like fill a tag instead of salt and pepper on.
Closed captions brought to you by Wounded Warrior Outdoors, providing wounded servicemen and women with therapeutic outdoor adventures.
My spot, and then you're like, no,
X-ray.
I'll go ahead and I'll go stand right in the middle of this tree, and Vicky, you go sit all the way on the other side, and you'll never see a deer tonight.
No, you said.
That's what happened.
No,
The
you
end.
said
Thanks for
the
making
deer
your
crossed
choice,
over
the
there.
choice, because this is
so
the end
we
of the
turned
show
around
now.
and